Dude, what do you bench press that thing or what?
It starts with bench. Yeah.
Yeah.
You do some
Oh, oh,
curls.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my new
Dude,
hunting rifle.
that thing is mean looking, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I took it out today. I'm holding. We did. It was just under a half-inch group. Of course, you can't. The impact is just amazing. At 400 yards, we put 4 rounds in. We put a big steel washer we made out of AR 500 with a half-inch circle, and we put all 4 rounds through the half-inch washer into the back plate. I was like,
Nice.
okay, that didn't suck.
What
No,
caliber
it
is
does
it?
not suck.
300 Win Mag.
300 Win Mag, and that weighs about 38,000 pounds.
It's 28 pounds.
Especially with that optic on there.
Dude.
That heavy optic.
Yeah, that's the Integrix optic. Then we got the 1.25 inch diameter Shaw barrel. That's
Nice.
26 inches long.
Good
Oh,
God.
that's the
That's
new
like-
leaper scope.
Yeah.
That's like hunting with this damn 6.5, dude. This thing's a tank.
Anthony, welcome in.
What's up?
Are you in your basement?
No, it's my garage, dude.
It's your garage?
Hell yeah.
No. Are you on are you just talking through your speakers on your computer, or you got a headset on?
I've got an AirPod in. That's the only thing I had.
That's fine. Just want to make sure. We got a full boat tonight. This is going to be fun.
It's gonna be a good time.
Hell yeah. Well, y'all, let's just get started. Fuck it. We'll figure it out as we go.
Let's do it
Yeah.
live.
Fuck it, we'll do it
Let's
live.
do it live. That's one thing I don't do is live because
Because of me.
Because of everyone sitting here tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say because pretty much literally all of us.
All right, here we go. I think I got the right one here. Nope, it's this one.
Mission First Tactical is the official tactical accessories provider for the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for an exclusive 20% discount on all orders.
I think my intro's too long. I think I need to shorten it. I get too antsy waiting on that.
Decide about it. Wait till you start the show to decide your fucking intro's too long.
After I've been doing it for 13 years. It took me 13 years to decide that.
Jesus.
That's the same intro we've had for 13 years. Actually, I shortened it this year to 45 seconds. I think it was like over a minute before, but it's like 45 seconds now. I still think that's too long. So I think for our long-time listeners, they just get that first little initial, then they know. It gets them pumped up. But welcome in, Leadhead. So whether you like our intro or not, you're here, and we're glad you're here joining us. This is the Talking Lead podcast, where we have been leducating the unleducated since 2012, bringing you all the leducation and sometimes the dumbification. I think some people they feel dumber after listening to our show, but maybe not. We try to provide fun and education on the show. So this episode, I think we're going to bring a lot of education to you listeners, you Leadheads, the Leadhead Brigade. And we're going to be talking night hunting and all the things that go along with that. The thermals, the night vision, the calls, the predator calls, the silencers, the ammo, the camo, and the snacks. And the exercises, Coop. I think Anthony's going to call you out on something here. So, but before we get into that, we got to thank all our sponsors of the show. Mission First Tactical. Make sure you go to Mission First Tactical. Use that code Leadhead. You're going to get 20% off, and they're running holiday specials right now where if you buy any of their acro bags, and I'm wearing their chest rig right now, their packs, their bags, they're going to throw in a free storage case. And I don't have my storage case with me, but you're going to get that free. And I think the discount code also works with that. So, I mean, worst case scenario, try it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, I mean, you get a free acro bag either way. So, Mr. First Tactical, Seal 1 done for all your gun cleaning lubrication needs. Use Seal 1. And I got another big announcement that we're going to make this episode because the AK Corner season finale is coming up, and we got a shit ton of prizes that we're going to be giving away on that episode. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as this episode progresses. But let me introduce our guest this episode, ladies and gentlemen. It's my co-host. You know him, you love him. He's TV famous from Spike's TV, the some kind of like storage auction hunters or
you son of a
bitch. You may have also seen him in a couple of country music videos getting tossed around and his ass kicked.
Yep.
Stuntman type stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ton Jones joining us. Ton, welcome in.
Thank you.
I know you've had a hard day today, and this show is just going to be your release. So Ton may get a little more raw than normal this episode.
Prepare for them jack wagons.
That's right. We are going to do the jack wagon train. Also joining us, he's becoming a regular on the show, ladies and gentlemen. With the Reason Outdoors, it's Coop joining us. Coop, welcome in.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah, glad to be here.
We're glad to have you back, man. This
I'm
is going to be
right now.
It's going to be a great episode. I can't wait to get into the hunt that Ton didn't get to go on with us. So.
Because there was walking involved.
Not a ton, though. Honestly, not a ton.
Dude,
we
no
were
pun
in
intended.
sides, most of it.
Yeah.
See, now that's hunting.
That's true.
There.
That's true. So Coop, you brought along a couple of our hunting buddies here that were on the hunt with us. I'm going to give you the honors of introducing these fine gentlemen.
Oh yeah. So we've got a couple Army brothers here. I know most people are think that I only hang out with jarheads. I don't. I can't hang out with that many dumb people, right? People like me, right?
Not enough trains to go around.
We brought a couple of our Army brothers on board today, and that would be Zane and Anthony. We had them. Zane actually put together the hunt, but we joined him up there, western North Carolina, Tennessee area, and we had a nice little weekend up there. So welcome, fellas.
We had a great weekend.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Zane and Anthony, welcome in. Zane, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So did a few years in the military, and kind of just realized it wasn't for me, but still a student, and always been really big on my family's been running up a gang since I was a little kid, on all sides of my family. So it's just something that I've grown up around and I've been really passionate about. So when I got out of the military, I kind of wanted to find something gun related. I just knew that was my passion, so I got into gunsmithing for a few years. Did a bunch of night vision sales, doing that with some of the guys, and then in the past probably 3.5, 4 years, I got really big into thermal hunting. It's just kind of combining my passion for night vision and guns, and doing predator control. And I've been over the past few years doing a lot of predator control for big farmers and ranchers. My family, I have some cattle farmers, cattle ranchers in my family growing up, and a lot of respect for them. They feed our communities. A lot of times they're pretty underappreciated. So it's been awesome. I do market control for HR for them. I got 100% disability through the VA through some injuries that I had in the military. So it kind of allowed me the financial freedom to go around and help out the local community here. And it's just something that I've been super passionate about for the past few years, and pretty excited to talk with you guys about, man. It's going to be a good time.
Well, we hope your connection gets better. There at the end, it started getting a little bit better, but maybe if you got closer to your phone, I don't know. We'll try some different things there. But Zane, welcome in, and we appreciate you joining us. Anthony, tell our listeners a little bit about you.
going on, guys? My name's Anthony. I did a couple years in the Army, got out, and now I work as a firearms instructor out at a range called Cedar Creek Precision in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, right next to the 101st. Linked in with Zane through work, actually, and he invited me up on this hunt. And I haven't really done too much hunting throughout my life, just some deer hunting and turkey hunting with my dad growing up. But in my adult life, nothing on my own. So getting back into it was really nice. And you know, shout out to the Reason Outdoors. I really appreciate you guys for taking me out. And, you know, especially you, Coop. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Coop, for our new listeners just tuning in that haven't heard your previous episodes, give us a little background of the Reason Outdoors, what you guys do.
We do ecotherapy. So we take veterans, first responders, and their kids on ecotherapy trips, right? And that's just my fancy way of saying hunting and fishing and outdoor activities. Hunting is primarily what we do. A lot of fishing, whether it's four-wheeler trips, camping, whitewater rafting. If there's something outdoors, right, ecotherapy related, and we can take guys and do it, we're gonna do that. So that's what we specialize in, and you know, helping our nation's heroes, right, heal, right, through the outdoors, and camaraderie and fellowship with one another. That's what we're about. So I will say right now, though, so Zane is the third Army guy that I know that had medically retired from the Army for burning in on a jump. So I don't know what it is with the name Zane, airborne units, and the Army. But like, dude, no joke. You're the third friend I know named Zane who is medically retired from the military because he burned in on a jump. Like, dude's name's Zane. If you're out there, lead heads, and you're in the military, you're planning on going in, don't jump out of airplanes. It's not a safe name. Don't do it. Just say it.
Just
But anyways,
I didn't get medically discharged for the jump. That was just one of the injuries while I was in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You still got boogered up, bro. Yeah.
I'm trying to get your website up here. Is it showing? It's not showing. What the fuck is showing on the
it's that
screen?
top home. The Reason Outdoors, that purple one right below there.
Okay.
Good to see you're using that go to. That's good.
I typed in your website, so there it is.
There we go.
There it is. So you guys can go to thereasonoutdoors.org. And apparently my internet is jacked up tonight too. There it is. It's slow responding. But check them out. There's donations available. If you know a veteran that could use some ecotherapy, you can get in touch with them there. And Coop will do the rest. So
absolutely.
And did we get her? We got Zane. We got Anthony. Zane, do me one favor and try to get closer to your phone if you can. Let's see if maybe that connection will be better.
I don't know if it'll work. Let me. I tell you what. Let me.
Already.
Yeah, it's already better already.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Here, we'll.
Hey, you don't got to show off that. Hey, your gun's as heavy as Tons is. You don't got to show it off the whole show.
No, you're good. I just set everything up in the living room, so I don't got to be running around the room. I can just grab shit and put it in front of the camera.
Yeah. So Zane is up in the BFE East Tennessee area. So they just got internet, I think, this year up in East Tennessee.
Shit, man, I don't even have cell service out at my house. It's all satellite Wi-Fi and everything like that. So
you need to get some of that Elon Musk connectivity. What's he got?
Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink. Have y'all used Starlink yet?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We used it down in Asheville when we were doing all that hurricane stuff. They had it running a good bit down there.
Oh, okay, cool. I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard it's the bee's knees. So
it's pretty fast.
I may have to try that out one day. But we are going to get into the night hunt. We're going to talk about our hunt that we did up there, the best parts, the worst parts, if there were any worst parts. I've got one worst part.
Walking.
And it's going to be on our jackwagon train. So we're going to talk about that. So, Gunny, bring in that train. So Zane and Anthony, you're going to learn what the jack
Every
wagon
round,
train is.
simplified, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the talking lead jack wagon of the week, so brace yourself, baby.
All right, the jack wagon train is rolling in, and I think we've got several jack wagons that we want to take care of. And like I said, Anthony, Zane, just hang in there with us. You'll get the feel of what we're getting ready to do right here. And I'll kick us off. Was it 2 weekends ago? Is that when we went? Is that when the hunt was? So it was during the Tyson Jake Paul fight. Our first night's hunt was, and on one of our breaks, we were actually staying in a really nice place there, and they had the interwebs and all that. Somebody's attacking me back there. And we were able to tune in to that fight, watch it on Netflix. I'll have to say that is the worst, most staged bunch of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. So Mike Tyson, not necessarily calling him out as a jackwagon, because I mean it was a big payday for him. I would have done the same thing, but look at Jake Paul trying to pretend like that was a real fight and that he survived Mike Tyson. That's some bullshit. So that's my jackwagon is Jake Paul.
Dude, you know the problem is that all of us, right? We all wanted Mike Tyson to just throw one blow like just old one. Mike back in the day, just one, and knock that cocksucker the F out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that is what we all hope for. And like when we saw Mike Tyson coming out of the tunnel, I mean, we're right. Like, dude, I looked at him. I was like, man, he is not looking good tonight. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I was like, man, he's fucked. You know, like maybe
he knew he didn't have to fight. He knew it wasn't going to be a real fight, so he was probably stoned out of his mind. And he was just going through the motions, man. Because if you watched his training videos leading up to the fight, and the punches he was throwing in that, he was not throwing anything near.
No.
Well, didn't they say he had to make it like 5 or 6 rounds or some shit like
7
that?
rounds.
To get the, I was gonna
Four.
say
I thought it was
he had
4
to make it
rounds.
a few rounds to get the payday.
Yeah, he had to get 7 rounds to make the partial payout, 8 rounds, and if he knocked Jake Paul out during any of it, he would not get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that right there tells you fixed. And why would people bet on it? Why would you fucking bet on that fight? You're a dumbass, a jackwagon, if you bet on that fight, and we're betting on Tyson, knowing that it's a fixed fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was brutal. I was like, what the shit?
And everybody knew it. Everybody knew it. Once it got started, everybody's like, okay, it's a fix.
You watch him pull his punches, stay away from the body shot.
He was coming in one, and he just kind of he had to pull it back because he knew he was going to knock his ass out.
It's just fuck.
Yeah. So
and Rosie Perez and her.
Oh, the choice of announcers. We were ragging them for that the whole time.
Dude.
Hey, at least the fight before it was pretty decent.
Dude, seriously, that was a good one.
The chick fight was good, and the other one was good.
The Barrera fight.
Yeah, the Barrera fight. Yeah, that was.
Did you get a chance to look into bare knuckle yet?
Yes. So I was going to save that for my hero. I was going to make you my hero because during that, Anthony suggested that we watch some bare knuckle fighting. I've never watched bare knuckle fighting.
Oh shit!
And I have watched 5 matches since then. So yeah, I was actually watching it yesterday when we were texting back and forth. So
yeah.
There you go.
That gets real quick.
Yeah. So that's my jackwagon. Ton. Who's your jackwagon?
Yeah. All right, it's that time of year. Happy fucking holidays.
Oh, God. This is already going downhill.
Yeah. You pull up to every single fast food restaurant, every gas station, every grocery store, every department store, and they ask you if you want to make a fucking donation. Every single one.
Yeah.
And this time of year, don't get me wrong, all the donations go to a good cause, but this is the time of year where every single store
But do they?
They're all tax.
Well,
It's tax write-off.
It's a tax write-off for these major companies. And then these companies want to act like they made a major donation to like St. Jude or a veteran's place. Congratulations. But these companies really didn't give a fucking single dime to anybody. They've taken everybody else's money and donated it back to these great causes and taken the tax write-off.
Yeah. Used our extra. They charged us extra to make these donations.
Yeah, they charge everybody extra and they put you on the spot. And then I showed up at this grocery store and these motherfuckers are like, well, if we've been taking so many extra donations, we get a bonus. I was like, so you're going to call me out in the middle of the fucking grocery store at the checkout line and fucking panhandle? So I asked him, I'm like, you're going to panhandle me at the grocery store where you're already fucking taking me for a ride.
Yeah.
And you want more money so you can get an extra bonus so your company can get a tax write-off. I said, all right, bro, why don't you cover 25% of my grocery bill? And I will give you your extra dollar roundup that you can make a donation. And he just stopped. He's like, I don't understand.
I said, exactly. Let me check the fuck out and quit begging for fucking money while I'm trying to pay my fucking grocery bill.
I'm already paying triple what I had to pay last year.
Yeah.
I would like one time I can go to a store and just buy some shit without someone panhandling, begging for fucking money so these big ass fucking companies can get a goddamn tax write-off. Dude, this isn't
and try to be heroes about it and say,
Yeah,
oh, look
they're
how
like-
much we donated.
Dude, I don't want to hear during the Macy's fucking parade that this company, Taco Bell or fucking Walmart, made this much of a donation. I already fucking know, you asshat. You took it out of my fucking receipt as I was checking out of the grocery store. Don't ask for another fucking pat on the back, you fucking dickweed. You already took the money. Go fuck yourself. And the
How do you
goddamn candy cane horse you rode in on. Dude, take the money and donate it yourself. Get the tax write yourself. Don't give any of these fucksticks any goddamn money.
Or how about this? Every time that you go to check out and you get asked by one of these big corporations if you want to add $1 on to your already exorbitant bill, how about you just say, no thanks, I'm going to take that money and go to the Reason Outdoors and donate it to the
Dude,
Reason Outdoors.
It's
That's all.
Worthwhile organization.
That's simple. That's simple. Give it to the Reason Outdoors. And you know what? Don't ask me if I want to put a fucking 25-cent paper hand cutout on the window of the fucking fast food restaurant. No one reads that shit.
Your smart camera just turns you off.
Oh, motherfucker.
Doing hand gestures.
Hey, look, I'm just saying right now, if any lead heads out there are managers of a major store that does that stuff, right? And you want to put the Reason Outdoors on your little kiosk thing and round up to the nearest dollar, if you make that happen, right? If that happens, we will take you on a hunt with us. And not only that, I will make sure that Ton Jones is there so he can verbally berate you in person the entire time. This is a vow that I make to you. Okay? Any of you lead heads out there, get that set up. Because I'll tell you right now, you would think that's like easy to like get in like and do that. Like, oh look, they do it for St. Jude. And, well, why wouldn't you do it for a local nonprofit? Well, it's a huge pain in the ass because we've been trying. But if anybody makes that happen for us, you're going to go on a hunt with us, with the veterans and whomever, but also Tons coming too. You want to know why? Because it'll be awesome.
Because it'll be fun. Especially if he goes on one like we went a couple of weekends ago.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It'll be fun to see Ton on that hunt. But there you go. So how about you, Kyle? I'm still letting Zane and Anthony kind of get a feel of what we're doing here.
Yeah, man.
And then we're gonna jump in with you guys. What about you, Coop? You got any jack wagons?
I do. And that would be
My
the
boy.
dog hunters from the hunt.
Oh,
Right?
dude.
So, and this
I
is
second that.
and this is a real thing, right? And I mean, this is hunting in the South, right? Like you're going to hear small caliber rifles or pistols going off, right? Like dogs are going to bark, like just shit happens, right? But these dog hunters just kept going back and forth across the creek
all
and
night.
they were shooting the neighborhood up all night. We're like, yeah, they'll give up
They
by
were
11
off the
o'clock.
main.
No,
They were off the main road doing it. So I went a couple
yeah,
miles down the road. And they were still down the road doing it. They were just driving through people's driveways and shooting possums and coons in their driveways.
yeah.
Not
Yeah,
the
well,
one thing
you
possum
found
they
one. Almost
Yeah.
ran over one with the
Yeah.
side by side.
Yeah, we pulled onto a property that we had. It was private. They shouldn't have been there. And there was a possum that was shot about 40, 50 yards off into that property, and it was just gut shot and left to die there. It's like they just went around the neighborhood shooting everything for shits and giggles, man. I can't stand it. You know, as hunters, we have a responsibility to be conservationists. You know, we can't just go around blasting everything. We do varmint control, we take care of things like that. But just going around
Closer to your phone.
in the woods,
Get closer to your phone. Get closer to your phone.
Just go around to everything in the woods is not the answer for it. And it's kind of rough seeing people do that.
Yeah.
All right, so Zane's he's in and out.
And
But no, I second that. Those guys all night long were definitely fucking up our hunt, no doubt about it. And I think they were intentionally doing it. I don't think that was by accident.
Straight jack wagons. And you know what? I know Zane spent a bunch of money on corn and whatnot to bait that spot up for us, and the farmers were having trouble with the hogs there. You know, so that really grinds my gears as a hunting guide. I've been, guiding hunts for over a decade now, right? And when that type of shit happens, right, it pisses me off.
Yeah,
so,
that's when that piece of plywood with those nails that I left in it accidentally slides off the back of my pickup truck.
Oh, oops. Yeah.
Yep, my bad.
We thought about it.
Yeah. We still got a hog that night. So that was good.
Yeah, Anthony nailed a good size hog there too. So
oh yeah.
So I think you guys have got the feel of what our jack wagon train is. So let's go to Anthony. Anthony, you got any jack wagons? Anybody you want to throw on the jack wagon train? Or something. It doesn't have to be a person, it could be a thing.
And you don't have to be as reserved as I am.
Shoes.
And tell me that your shirt doesn't say Steers and Queers on it.
No, it says Steers Nutrition.
Steers Nutrition.
Yeah, I'd say Velcro shoes. Not a big fan of those. I don't know why. They just freak me out.
I like that. Velcro shoes.
Tie your shoes like a real man. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
that's awesome.
I think that just made my day.
I think you just won the Jack Wagon nomination of the year right there.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh fuck.
All right, Zane, how about you?
Nah, I can't really think of any, man.
None at all?
Nah, dude.
Release the anger, brother.
No, not
an angry guy.
Unleash the hatred.
I ain't really got any, Chief.
What about a hero? What about somebody who you want to recognize, or something you want to recognize as
well, actually, one thing that I did want to say before we get too deep into it, a big supporter of everything that we did on that hunt, and continual supporter for the past few years of everything that I do with the varmint control stuff is Ready Made Resources. They sell thermal and night vision and all sorts of stuff. They get me all my ammo. They send us out with all sorts of thermals. I know they sent us out with a few helmets and White Foss PVS 14s. They even sent us out with a side-by-side a couple weekends ago for that hunt. So big shout out to those guys, man. They really help a lot, and they really support everything that we do with all the hunting and stuff like that.
What's it called? Ready Made
Resources out in Tellico Plains, Tennessee.
Yeah,
I'm pulling them up here.
Definitely thankful for them.
Yep. Give them a plug. Give their website a plug here. And
look at that.
Make sure
Zane came alive.
How
there we
about
go.
Coming
Is this
live.
them?
Yep.
Is that
That's
them,
them.
Zane?
Yep.
There you go. So you guys can go check out readymaderesources.com. And it looks like they got they sell
Yeah,
the
pretty much.
thermals and
Pretty
night
much
vision.
thermals, night vision, pretty much anything that you would need for the end of the world, man. Solar power, camping stuff, survival equipment, medical stuff. There's water filtration, food storage, pretty much anything that you would need for any sort of situation that would be not ideal.
Holy shit! Look at this
Very
website.
cool. Or make it more ideal. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it a more ideal situation. Very cool. And I appreciate those guys for hooking us up for that hunt too, because that equipment was invaluable that we used. So
Yep.
Solid.
very good. What about you guys? Anybody else got any heroes? Got some heroes? Got a hero ton?
Coop and his family for letting me drop in the other night, making a killer meal for us, and letting me just hang out, dude.
What'd you have? What kind of meal?
Dude, we had sliced cheese. We had wild game sausage. It was just a really cool just to hang out. And his wife made me the chocolate cookie brownies.
Oh, shut up,
dude.
How come you didn't bring any of those on the hunt, Coop?
Because I ate them all, fucker. What do you think? How do you think I got my back titties, bitch? Jesus.
That's what I was leading to there, asshole.
No, I know, and it's a big thing for our wives and our significant others because we always got our buddies dropping in, and it's one of those things where it's rough on our families because we always have people in and out, crashing, just dropping by, and I stopped in out of nowhere, just like, hey, I'm here. Hey, what's up? And welcome me in here, eat, hang out. And I was there and gone. And it was just really cool to be able to sit down and have a nice family meal while I'm out on the road. And usually I'm stuck at some shithole where someone's begging for money. And it was just really nice. I was like, cool.
Yeah, man, pleasure to have you, brother.
They're my heroes. I was like, cool. It was just really nice since I'm always on the road traveling. And I was like,
yeah, you were up
cool.
doing something with GOA, weren't you?
Yeah, I was at the GOA. I did a GOA podcast and did some filming up there, supporting the 2A community. And I was like, 2-hour road trip. Let's go. Then attempted to do some hunting, did some shooting, blowing some shit up. Had some
Always
fun.
a good time.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So they made my hero list. I was like, that was really cool. It was a little slice of home on a road trip.
Nice.
Oh man, pleasure, man. Anytime you're in there, come on.
I guess his wife could be the hero. Is actually who you're throwing on the
wife, and kid, the whole family there. It was just that it was a really nice environment. It was really cool. It made me happy.
Good. Thank you. Yeah,
now I'm gonna have to go to Coop's house.
I would have been Ton's hero if I'd have got him a bear the next morning, but that didn't happen. But we did blow stuff up, so
we blew stuff up.
Pretty good.
Well, that might have been the reason why you didn't see any bears, because you were blowing shit up.
No, we did that afterwards.
Yeah, we did that afterwards. But I was trying to dang call them things in with fawn and distress, you know.
Yeah,
and
was he was my hero because he didn't make me hike.
I know how Tom likes to hunt, so I had him. I had him on that.
He had his back.
We saw my hunting rifle.
He had his
That's
back.
why I don't hunt. I don't hike.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
All right. Unless y'all got any more jack wagons or heroes, we're gonna send that train out of here. Anybody else going once? Going twice?
Send her out.
Get that train out of here, Gunny.
The Firebird M50 targets are a new low-noise version of our popular 50 bio-detonating target. M50 targets are self-contained, pyrotechnic, reactive targets that are legal, safe, and easy to transport. Use the exclusive code TL15 for 15% off all orders at firebirdtargets.com. Firebird Targets is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
All right. Let's talk night hunting. And I think probably the best way to kick this off would be maybe let's just talk about what is night hunting and low light hunting, I guess. And I guess in most states, it typically means you're predator hunting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Predator or hog hunting. Yeah.
Nuisance
most-
species.
Yeah.
Most states it
Nuisance.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
most states it's illegal to take any sort of big game with thermals, unless you're doing like there's certain states where you can do like depredation tags for stuff, but it's weird rules around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. And for this hunt, we were up in East Tennessee. I don't know. I can't remember the actual town where the first night.
Like Western North Carolina and back and forth in East Tennessee. We didn't do too much of the stuff in East Tennessee. We were mainly Western North Carolina over there.
Okay. Just right across
but
the border there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it varies because North Carolina, you can run bolt guns and stuff like that, and there's not really much restrictions. Tennessee has some different laws with stuff, so like there's certain seasons for thermal hunting, and you have to use shotguns, and it can't be single projectiles, so no slugs. They really neutered the thermal hunting out here, so a lot of the thermal hunting that I do is traveling around.
Even for predators?
Even for
predator
predators, they're trying to get it passed, and I really wish that we could work with them to get more stuff passed because shooting multiple projectiles out of a steel tube, that's very inaccurate, and a lot of the problems with coyotes are in cow fields. They're in farmers' places, ranchers' places.
Yep.
And they're surrounded by livestock. So it doesn't, this is what happens when you have people who write legislature for something that they don't understand. They're out there saying that you need to be hunting with multiple projectiles out of a shotgun with a thermal on it, where you can't shoot accurately past 50, 60 yards, and you're endangering livestock if you're ever going out in a cow field trying to shoot coyotes. So it really limits how much you can actually help with thermal hunting out here. For sure.
I guess I need to read my Tennessee laws a little closer.
What the damn hell are they doing?
It's pretty weird, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's no go.
That's batshit.
So we were up in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. I could still consider the Smoky Mountains where we were up there.
Yeah, most of Western North Carolina is over there.
Yeah. So it was a good time, but we had a full moon, so that kind of threw a little monkey wrench in our works there. But we went up. Was it Friday? I guess it was Friday night. Is when we started. It was about, and I was late. Sorry guys, I was about 2 hours late.
Well, me and Anthony started on Thursday night, and we went out to a couple properties, and we shot some coyotes and some coons and stuff like that before y'all came out. So we got warmed up for you.
You got everything warmed up.
We did all the walking, so you guys didn't have to.
It all mattered, of course. I don't know, man. That first night that I was there, I mean, we went for damn near 12, 14 hours. It was a long ass night, but it was a good night because we were, we were constantly getting hits and traveling from one place to the next. So I really enjoyed it. I didn't even think it was 14 hours. Of course, we did take that one break to watch that shitty ass fight.
Yeah, we definitely did that.
Time well spent,
And that was the worst part of the whole trip right there was that. And even that was fun because we cut up and had a good time, and there was a couple of good fights there. So
yeah, I mean, it's like when you're sitting, when you're doing that, like we're like watching the fight, like it's like, man, we could be out, we need to be out there right now. Then it's like, oh, we hear the dog hunters on their freaking four wheelers go by. You're like, all right, well, might as well wait a couple minutes now. Right, and it's it was so bright out there. We didn't even need we could just use regular day scopes out there to freaking shoot coyotes.
Ready Made sent us all out there with nods and white phos 14s for everyone to run, and we were just walking around without nods. It was too damn bright to run them.
Yeah, it was really bright out there.
Man.
So let's talk about like ideal situations for how did the full moon affect us? Was that bad? Was that good? Because I've heard different people say different things on the full moon.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are pretty superstitious about it. I've had me and Coop even talked about this when he came out. We've had nights where we've killed a lot of stuff on a full moon, but a lot of the times it seems like predators don't really like being out in the full moon. I don't know if it's whether they feel more vulnerable, like it's
More
super big
exposed.
visibility for them, or the hunting isn't as good for them. Maybe they're able to sneak around when it's a little bit darker and they can sneak up on their prey a little bit better. So maybe they're just not as active, or they stay in the wooded areas where it's more dark. But for some reason, there's some nights where we'll kill a bunch of stuff on a full moon, and I've gone nights where I won't see a single thing on a full moon. But it really just depends.
You want to know
And
from the wildlife aspect of it?
Say again?
Yeah.
From the wildlife aspect of it, it's just like reptiles. You don't look for most venomous snakes or exotic snakes on full moons because birds of prey, it enhances their vision. So when we're out collecting venomous, we do not collect on full moons because the keratin in their scales will reflect. Same with rabbits. Rabbits and most prey items during full moons will stay low and bedded down during the 3 days during the full moon. So a lot of predators do not have the food source during the full moon cycle. So you try to stay a couple days during that 3 to 4 days during the full moon. There's a lot less predator movement because the prey items are bedded down because they're easier targets for birds of prey and other predators. That's why you get on some occasions prey animals out there versus when in dark phases where you have a lot more animal movement. And the dark when it's in the dark moon and there's no moon out at all, you'll get a lot of more animal movement, a lot more wildlife moves, and you get actually a lot more cars hit by deer and everything else. Everything's moving because they don't have to worry about they can move in the what they think is the protection of the darkness. That's when everything's out moving
makes
for the
sense.
wildlife
Makes sense.
aspect.
Yeah.
I've spent enough time in wildlife.
Yeah.
That's got a little
It makes
experience with
sense.
wildlife.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we had the full moon. The temperature, it was around 40s, is in the low 40s.
Something like that.
So I mean, it wasn't
Definitely it was cold.
It was cold, but it wasn't like deep
Definitely
freeze,
cold.
butt ass cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
mean,
what would you say best time of year to go predator hunting would be?
I mean,
January.
yeah, I was gonna say
Ja-
like end of
January,
December,
February.
January. Yeah.
I mean, when you're looking for those like picture perfect cold nights, right during breeding season, and you just throw on a female howl, and all of a sudden it's like wham, things are just
Yeah.
cracking off. Super exciting. But I mean, the other
June,
fun
July.
time of year is it's like when the pups start leaving the den and they're venturing out, starting to hunt on their own, and you start doing some pup fights and they're young and dumb and they're ready to get after it, and you just start laying the hatred down on them,
Yeah,
it's a good
last
time.
July I went out. I killed 7 coyotes in less than 3 minutes just because it was a bunch of pups came. Like they were about year old pups, but they all came out the dens and they were just in a field like crazy. And they'll come right into calls, and if you're shooting suppressed, half the time they don't even know what's going on because they've never been shot at.
Kind of like that
Yeah.
family of coons we ran across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got murdered.
Dude, it's like the best video I took with my handheld of Zane dragging them across the pasture because it was just leaving a hot streak behind them.
Yeah.
It was just just dragging with his yoke drag. And it was just the best thing to see. You're like, oh, that's awesome.
Can I access was it Signal? Is that the app you had me download?
Yep, Signal.
Is that phones only, or can I do it on the computer? I want to pull up some of those videos. I want to show some videos because I got them all on my phone.
I don't know. I've tried it on the computer before.
Yeah. Oh, well. So you guys go to our Instagram. You can go to my Instagram. You can go to Coops, which is Hunting Carolinas, and The Reason Outdoors. And then Zane, what's your Instagrams?
It's Chaos of the Plains, all one word.
Chaos of the Plains. He posts a lot of cool thermal videos and whatnot up there. And then Anthony, are you posting any your stuff on your Instagrams?
So I don't do a whole lot of thermal hunting. The most that I post on my Instagram is just stuff that we do out the range between like the off-road shooting series that we have where you're shooting out of side-by-sides and three gun comp. Y'all got to come up for that sometime, man. I'll save a spot for you.
So give your range a plug because we didn't talk about that. So Anthony's up in the Kentucky area and he works at a range up there and they do this cool, like you can shoot from a vehicle competition thing. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. So I work out at Cedar Creek Precision. We started a thing called Mother Trucker off-road shooting series. We're trying to grow it. We did our first major event this past year, comprised of almost 8 miles, I believe, of off-road trails over 5 different shooting stations. And then at the end, you topped it off with a Mark 46 shoot. Those of you who don't know, it's a belt-fed 5.56 that we had lent to us by DTV Arms. Typically, when we have big events like that, we've got all the major companies, and we have a lot of machine guns out there for demonstration and whatnot. So it's usually a really good time to go, even if you're not competing, just to get some, just word of mouth communication from other people. It's a good place to reach out and meet people.
I think I got the range right here.
Yep.
Is this it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's cedarcreekprecision.com. And then they've got like a calendar that tells you what all is upcoming, training, range info, all that. How big is that range?
So we've got 240 acres. We've got a 1,555 yard all steel long range that is capable. We shoot 50 cals out there, 375 Chi-Tech, all the large calibers. We've got a 300 yard all steel range, 75 yard tack bay, 25 yard tack bay, and a 5 yard pistol bay. We're going to be growing up some more bays, hopefully, in the upcoming time, and some big things coming this upcoming summer, hopefully.
We need to talk because we're putting together a range day, and we're looking at ranges right now. So let you and me talk off air about that. It'd be in April, May, like end of May, something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Very cool. Cedar Creek Precision. Awesome.
Shit. Dude, he's on the way to the competition that I go shoot in Kentucky.
Much closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on out, man.
What the hell?
You come stay with me.
Everybody, new range we just opened in March.
All y'all come to my house and we'll go up and see Anthony.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I was on the phone with you when I passed the off-ramp to his place.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Right
I could have stopped over there and blown some shit up.
Heck yeah.
There you go. Next time, add that to
Now
the
you
list.
know, man.
Now you know.
Dude.
So let's do this. Let's talk about the equipment that we used.
What the shit?
For our hunts last time. So let's start with the thermals that we had there, Zane.
Yeah. So on my gun, I run iRays TX, the Bolt TX 60. It's a 1024 resolution, so it's 60 mil objective. This has got to be my favorite thermal, man. I've been running it for a while. I started out with the Bolt 50. It's the 50 mil version of the same thing in a 640 resolution thermal. Great scopes, man. I love them. The cool thing about these is they've got an internal power source and they take 18650s. So all night I was just swapping 18650s and the scope never even needed to turn off. I get some wicked footage with this thing. The thermal that you were using, Lefty, was the Envision, the Nox 35. This one it's weapon mountable, but we were using it, helmet or handheld mode. And Ready Made actually sent us out with that one. Those are great thermals. That's a Envision optics. And then the one that I was running,
the battery life on that thing was unreal because I used it both nights. That first night, like I said, we were out almost 12, 13 hours.
Yeah.
And it never.
The batteries, I thought the batteries between the two hunts. So you all night on one battery, but then the second night it was in one.
But still, for 14 hours, that thing ran no problem. I didn't have to change batteries out. Didn't drain at all. I mean, that's phenomenal.
And then my setup that I run on my helmet, just for detection, walking around, just so we're not walking around pointing rifles at things. Dude runs his handhelds. I like running mine on a helmet just so my hands are a little bit more free. Ready Made hooked me up with this bridge mount so I can bridge a RH-25. This is the V1. They have the V2 now, which is super badass. But these are pretty multi-function thermals. You can run a clip-on, dedicated thermal, handheld or helmet mounted. I run them helmet mounted. That's where I think they really shine. And then I've got it bridged with a White Foss PVS 14 for navigation and walking around in the dark and stuff like that. Makes that a little bit easier. But as far as the thermals goes, and then Anthony was using the Bolt 50, the smaller version of this one, and then we had the 22 with the Envision Halo X50 on it. We didn't get to shoot that much when we went out on the other hunts, but me and Anthony shot it a little bit. And that's my first big scope that I started out with. I used to run a lot of Envision stuff. These days I'm running a lot of iRay stuff. And I really love the quality of both of them, man. They both make some pretty awesome scopes.
Cool. Coop, what were we running on the guns?
We're running on the guns. We're running AGM varmint V2s, or you're running a V2 50-640. I was running handheld a AGM Reach IR 5640. They just put this out not too long ago. That was pretty solid. That was the first weekend I'd used it. Actually, prior to that, I was using a Pulsar Axion. And then on my rig, I was using a AGM Secutor 5640. It's kind of like their militarized version. It's got the rangefinder with the ballistic drop compensator in it. And then I was shooting that off of a 6mm Creedmoor built by Stumpy's Custom Guns here in Swansboro, North Carolina.
Stumpy's?
Killer. Stumpy's, yeah.
Nice.
Originally started by a couple of amputees, so if you need a killer custom gun built, and then I was rolling a stinking Silent AF. Well, actually, I wasn't that weekend. I am now because I just got these approved by the, that entity, right?
Okay.
Silent AF Vigilantis killer can. But yeah, I've been running AGM, blue collar company. Their price is a little lower than iRay and Pulsar. iRay is nice, even if some of their other companies had some stuff. But no, iRay is good. But I run AGM. A lot of my clients that I've had over the years, they all run AGM, and just because they don't hunt as much as I do, but the prices are right for their like 35 through 84. So I run AGM. I've ran Pulsar, I've ran iRay, I've run Ricks, all great companies. Right now I'm running AGM. So
I gotta say the one that I used on that 6 Art was it was really nice. It was as far as clarity goes, it had good clarity, and the battery life was decent. We had to change it out like halfway through the hunt, but that's pretty typical, pretty common for running Visions that long. Not Vision that long.
Yeah. And for me personally, I prefer using a handheld with the guys I usually hunt here. I'm doing the calling, so I've got the call in my hand. And then I rely on the other two dudes to scan as we move to our kind of point of domination wherever we're hunting there. And for me, I have run, a helmet mounted. Number one, I have a problem with helmet mounted stuff because I can't wear my killing hat. Right, that's a huge go, and I haven't found a way to mount it to my killing hat yet either. But running and I've run, I've been under night vision, actually, most of my adult life really, but running a thermal on one eye and a 14 on the other eye for me gives me a monstrous TBI headache. I can run, a thermal for a night vision or dual mounted night vision or dual mounted thermals. But when I do 1-on-1, it gives me a crazy headache. So I just stick with my killing hat and a handheld for right now until I have like the, perfect scenario, helmet mounted. But plus, when you run on a helmet all night, like I got degenerative discs in my neck, and like I look like a strapping bastard, but I'm a medical nightmare. But when I'm running that stuff on my helmet all night too, it's like, man, my neck's killing. Right? I'm like,
that is one of the drawbacks for running the helmet system.
Yeah.
I really liked having the handheld because again, it's just pop it up there real quick, scan, you put it back down, and you can switch to the rifle real quick.
And Zane and Anthony, right? They're running helmet mounted stuff. So like, like Zane's like, there's a coyote right there. Like, all right, bam. I'm just setting up my tripod, right? And then we're doing talk-ons from there. So it's like you got a dude. Everybody in the team essentially had their like role. You know what I mean? Almost like you were back in the military. Like somebody's running point, right? Freaking, like I even like holding the call. Like I'm stopping. I scan every once in a while.
Well, and I was going to say that's one of the benefits of running the nods, the helmet, is that you get, you can consistently scan and check out the lay of the land and quicker recognition if something does pop up. So I mean, there's pros and cons of doing both of those, doing it both ways.
Yeah, sure.
Anthony, talk about your experience on this hunt. You said you don't do a lot of night hunting and thermal hunting. So talk about your experience.
No, so this is one of my first like real organized night hunts. It was a good time. I haven't really messed with thermal too much since I've been out of the military, and getting back into it was pretty cool. Haven't had a helmet mounted. The only helmet mounted thermal I've ever messed with was I think it was 20 alphas. I think the Army used, and it has like a thermal overlay, but it's nothing compared to the quality of the. I forgot which one I was using. I'm pretty sure it was an iRay.
You were using the Nox, the Envision Nox.
Okay,
18.
the Nox,
it's the smaller version of the one that Lefty was using. Yeah, that was pretty nice. I mean, I had the option for a 14 bridge. It was just, the loom was so good, you didn't even need 14s. If I was in a different environment and I had to worry about something, I'd keep a 14 on. But hunting, thermal's all you need really for what we were doing at least. If the loom was a little worse, probably use a 14 to help you get around. But that night it was pretty much perfect for a loom.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do much switching.
No.
And here is definitely one thing me and Zane will agree on, that this piece of kit right here, right?
Well, then let's just jump to it. Let's jump to the call.
Sorry. Go. I'm all excited. And seeing my pantsy over here,
I took mine out the other night and got 3 dogs and before 8:30.
So we'll get more into thermals with our listener questions because we got some. I think the majority of our listener questions are on.
Yeah, because I'm stumped by the way you guys have to night hunt in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's different, man. I try not to do too much hunting in Tennessee just because the shotgun stuff, it really limits you to what you can do. And like a lot of the problems that I take care of for people, like I said, are farmers and ranchers. There's livestock everywhere, and I don't feel comfortable going to someone else's property where there's thousands of dollars worth of cattle and slinging lead.
Yeah, because
what about air rifles with thermals?
I haven't looked too much into the air rifle stuff, man. You didn't get me one yet, so I don't know.
I know.
Ton. Do you know what he needs, right?
I think I know a guy that can do that for you, and then probably killed a few hundred things with.
Is ready?
What's that?
Is ready made resources? Are they a raw dealer yet?
No, we can fix that though.
I think we sent out the email for it. I think Josh just needs to work out the details with it, but we're working on it.
Yeah, because we hunt here in Texas. We hunt hogs and predators on ranch land all the time, and if someone brought out a shotgun, I
guess we should have prefaced this episode with check your local laws and regulations.
Yeah,
absolutely. Very state for sure.
Yeah, just thinking about going out with a shotgun on it. If someone showed up, I'd be losing my mind. It just blows my mind. I'm trying to just wrap my head around it. This is there's a picture. This is 4 hours of night hunting on one ranch.
You want me to add something to the screen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's 4 hours.
That's Texas, baby.
Yeah, and we do pretty damn good, but yeah, that's with AKs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went hunting with Nick Atkinson a few years back down in Texas, and he was doing like we did,
and
we took several different farms that allowed us to go crossover, and that was like within the first hour we got that many. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and this is our usual equipment. There, share that screen. That's our hunting.
Yay.
I love it.
Hey, when it comes off the side by side, I'm the first one to find my gun.
Hell yeah.
No, that shit glows in the dark.
Damn straight it does.
What thermal you got on there?
That one's the Wraith.
Is that a pulsar?
Yeah, because we're running a Go Light IR on the tops of our side by sides, and that has 500-yard throw. So you don't need.
Jeez.
Yeah, when we're going out there, and then of course everybody knows how much I like to walk.
Right, like none.
Yeah, exactly. So this is my This is my true hog hunting and nighttime hunting rifle. That's
Heck yeah.
Nice.
That looks photoshopped to me, guys. I don't know.
nah, it's on the wall.
It looks like he photoshopped himself in that picture right there.
Nope, that's the one that's actually in the living room. Yeah, you've
Nice.
I've
actually seen that. Yeah.
I would just say this picture looks like it's photoshopped because it's so crisp.
Hey, good phone quality.
Were you in front of the Jeep or something? They just turned the spotlights on.
That's on front of the side by side.
Yeah, that's bright as shit.
Heck yeah. Yeah, the Sight Mark Wraith, I run those on my client guns for hog hunting for night vision. And those things are killer. You know, if people are looking to get into night hunting, but they don't have, the money to get into, right, like a thermal, right? Because if you're going to go thermal, like I just suggest save your pennies, at least get a 35 384, but if you can't afford that, then the Sight Mark Wraith, it's like $400 or $500. It's dang clear. It gets the job done. If that's how you're going to start into your foray into night hunting, that's not.
Is that a mountable optic?
Yes. Yep. Okay. Weapons mountable. I'm also going to warn you, right, that night hunting can also be like a buy once, cry once kind of a thing, right? And it's like having, it's better than having a meth addiction, honestly, right? But it's pricey. Once you're like, oh, I'm gonna get a 25 256 thermal, and you're like, this isn't very clear at all. Oh, I'm gonna get a 35 384. Wait a minute, I'm gonna get a 35 640. Oh no, now I'm gonna get a freaking, and you're just looking at the next best thing. It's
Thermals don't usually hold their value secondhand much. You can trade them for stuff, but selling them secondhand is always rough because they're constantly developing new, cheaper stuff, and it's always cheaper.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with the technology because it's advancing so fast.
What we found out when we're night hunting out here is we fixed the problem with everybody coming out with all of the different night vision, at least here. We went and got IR light bars for all of our side-by-sides and trucks. And we could throw, right now we have one truck that's pushing, I think we're 500,000 looms of IR.
Nice.
It's running six deep cell batteries.
That's definitely some Texas shit right there. I'm just saying.
And,
right? Like that's some straight Texas shit right there.
And then we also set the Go Light out on a battery, and we could be 200 yards out, hit the switch, and we can remote control in any direction. So we have 200 to 500 yard throw in any direction. It's up on the stand, and we can just point it and see what's coming around anywhere in the field because everything's flat out here. It's like, okay, we got something coming in. You spot it on thermal, shoot it with night vision.
All right, next hunt's in Texas.
Yeah, let's do a Texas trip.
We're staying at Tons.
I've got a buddy who runs a high fence ranch down there. I'll try and get us on a month out there.
Hell yeah. I wouldn't be mad about that. So let's do this. Let's jump into the calls. Let's jump into calls because I know Coop's wanting to talk calls right now.
Calls? So, okay, I guess we can talk about calls.
And we're specifically going to be talking about electronic calls, I guess, this episode because that's what we used. And I don't know if you guys have any experience with the handheld calls or not.
Yeah, a little bit.
You do?
Yeah,
okay.
A little bit.
We'll talk about those a little bit too. The in reads and out of read calls. So what do you got there, Coop? What did we use on this hunt?
We used the Fox Pro X24. This is probably one of industry standard calls for people. It's right now until the 360 comes out, whenever that's going to be. I have no idea because they've been saying 2 weeks for a year almost now. But the X24 is a great call. And this one's loaded with MFK game calls. So Tory Cook down in Arkansas, the dude's like the godfather of coyote hunting, and his calls work. So that's what we ran. And by the way, Fox Pro and MFK, we got the Onslow Predator Challenge coming up for the Reason Outdoors at the end of January. We're fielding 2 teams for that. I'm fielding 2 teams for Hunting Carolinas, the 2 teams for the Reason Outdoors. We could definitely use a few calls donated, especially loaded with MFK game calls. So Tori or John over there at Fox Pro, go hook us up, bro. Hook us up. But no, yeah, hook a brother up.
Is that on your website? Is that
the Onslow Predator Challenge?
Yeah.
No, not yet. It's not.
Okay.
We're gonna get that on there.
Okay.
But my buddy Timmy Ray, Timmy Carr, he runs the Onslow Predator Challenge. He's a Marine as well, and his family owns Semper Fi Storage up there, and he puts on probably the best competition in North Carolina, in the Carolinas period. So
nice.
Great. It's a great competition. But yeah, so that's what we're using. There is other great calls. Let me get back to that one. So people who aren't familiar with these electronic calls, they come preloaded with sounds, or is it like a Bluetooth thing where it's on your phone and you're Bluetoothing it to the? So most of them are via remote. And they come preloaded with sounds, and then you can download sounds. There you go. Yep, just like that.
So they come with this. I don't know if you'll be able to see the actual.
It's like a Game Boy.
They're all, yep. So they've got all sorts of different calls on them, from domestic animals to coyotes to foxes. There's bears and hogs and all sorts of stuff. But there's companies like MFK that make downloadable sounds, so you can hook them up to your computer if you're smart enough. I'm not. I just bought the one that's already downloaded, but you can buy more sounds off their sites too.
Or if you got internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time he's close to his phone, he has perfect reception. Then he goes and sits back on the couch.
And then he moves back.
Get
closer to your phone, son.
And
just hold it. Just hold it.
Yeah, just hold it. It's okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
There you go.
But yeah, most of them are remote control.
So give us an example there, Coop. Can you play yours?
Yeah. Yep, I can.
Give our listeners a little taste of what we're listening to, and let's talk about also the right calls on the, with what, depending on what hunt you're on, what calls you want to use.
Right. So here's an example of pup in distress. Right. So that's a puppy in distress right there. You know, and there's times to use that and bring them on in. But
that usually gets them.
Is that all we get? We only get one. We only get one.
Oh, you want some more? Okay. Hey, my bad. Hey, we'll go. Look, I
This is
know.
Full encompassing podcast, baby.
Yeah. I know. I was DJ Jazzy Jeff over here. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Our DJ tonight is Coop.
Yeah. Up next on the list, we've got KG Cottontail, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
Maybe.
Needs the batteries.
Maybe. Not too close.
It's got stage fright.
Oh, there we go. So that's KG Cottontail. That's one of my go-to calls. Like if there was two calls that I could only use to hunt predators, and that's it. One of them would be KG Cottontail, and the other one would be one called Pound Town. For some reason, Pound Town, yeah.
Let's hear Pound Town, the golden oldies of Pound Town.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it is about this one, but this one is like pay dirt. On Virgin territory, that call right there.
That sounded like my Tinder date last night.
9 times out of 10, that one's bringing coyotes in. But yeah,
I killed a dog 2 nights ago on KG Cocktail. That call works, man.
Yeah, the distress is working right now, dude. Distress calls are working right now.
How do you like because I'm running MFK mouth calls, and I still use some of the Fox Pro mouth calls, but I've been using MFK mouth calls for the diaphragm calls for probably 6 years.
Nice.
I've had some pretty amazing luck with them, especially young.
I have not used any of their mouth calls, but that's kind of I feel like it's like the next evolution, right? In my predator hunting, right?
Prouse to build up your arsenal.
Is that because you can still get that when it's a real breathing something doing the call, right? There's like emotion in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you sometimes don't get, or you can do it in conjunction with a speaker, right? So I feel like that's the next part of my predator hunting adventure.
Because I cheat, I actually use a Bluetooth speaker on a tripod and set it out in the field and run the sounds off of my phone.
See, and I was going to say, can't you just get a Bluetooth speaker and download?
I use this, and I rub it in some dead animal. And put it out there for the scent to go out.
And for our non-viewing audience, what's this?
It's a
French tickler.
What do they call these? It's like a dead rabbit.
Little motion calls. Yeah.
Decoy.
So what Ton has is his call, but it's got like a faux
tail on it. It just
squirrel
or stick it in the ground, or it goes on the back of one of your regular electronic calls. And you can change the speed, but I sent it, and it flings scent all over the place. And I'll put that out there and run either the mouth call or my Bluetooth speaker, and just go to town.
You have good luck with that?
Better than average.
What about you guys, Zane and
a lot of times
Coop and
it
Anthony?
is. I did used to use a motion call like that. I had an electric one that I used to use. Now with the MFK, with the Voxtro, man, I don't really like it. It's not really that necessary. But growing up, like my grandpa was a big time coyote hunter, and all daytime coyote hunting. But he had a stick with a string, and he just tied some feathers onto it. He'd stick it in the ground, and just something moving that's not natural, that's out of play in that area. It just doesn't look like it should be there. Will just distract their vision.
He just refuses to bring that phone closer, doesn't he?
I don't think it's the phone being close enough to me. I think it's my direct Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just having some sort of motion that will distract them from you, because especially if you're moving around, if you're looking around, they see stuff. So if you have something out there moving around, it'll distract them a little bit. It'll definitely help you out.
A lot.
So that's the thing too, is we were moving, we were on the go. We weren't actually posted up with, trees or anything like that and stationary. We were moving on the go, kind of deal. So, I mean,
that's why I like to scent that decoy.
Yeah.
So they have not only scent, sound, and visual distracting them from my fat ass. Because let's be real, I am not stealthy. I am fucking not stealthy at all. Dude, that's why I'm like, I'm fat, I'm heavy breathing. I just got done carrying my fucking 28-pound rifle to where I'm going to be setting up. I'm making noise. So I'm dropping that shit down, getting
camping out.
Yeah, I'm making all the attention away from me. And it's been pretty productive.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It depends on what kind of hunting you're doing too. If you're stalking or if you're going to sit.
You're what? What's
stalking?
that?
Stalking. No, Ton don't know anything about that.
Nope. Don't have that. Not my dictionary. Sorry, hard pass.
I guess that depends on, what you're gonna, how you're gonna do your setup, how you're gonna do your calls, how you're gonna do, all that stuff. So, like you said, Zane had been feeding the fields, for weeks before we got there. So, I mean, he was putting the feed out and stinking it up pretty good, and that's where Anthony got that pig, was off some of that feed you put out.
Yeah. Another useful thing when it comes to calling, and this actually came from Coop, I can't take credit for it, is these little squeakers, man. I just throw this thing in my pocket, and it's great for getting a dog to stop or just look at you. That way you can just squeak this little thing, and every time they'll just stop in their tracks and turn. And it's just having something that you can make some sort of squeak or whistle or something. That way you're not having to yell and get an unstable shot.
Actually, this video, he did it right here on this video. If you'll, for our viewing audience, this is on Zane's Instagram page. And he does the little squeaky right here, and then he looks up, stops, and boom.
Boom. Dropped him.
And that was from the little squeaky. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I mount my squeaker on my tripod right where I grip it with my left hand. So, different strokes for different folks. When you got a dog coming in, a dog, fox, cat, whatever, and sometimes they like to come in downwind. So they a lot of times try to go right so they can hit that downwind side. And you want to, stop them. Some guys like to woof. I literally have a buddy who says woof, bless his heart, right? But or you can do like a coyote bark, like no. So, oh man, so Tom, you'll like this vernacular at the end too, right? So we're hunting this one spot and thinking, like this. It looks like a dog's coming. It's like going back and forth. It's kind of playing a little cat and mouse. Finally comes in down this path. Right. And I'm like, we hadn't had squeakers at this point in time. And I'm like, somebody give it a bark. Right. And my buddy's like, woof. And that thing stops dead in its tracks. Boom. We crush it. It happened to be a ditch tiger is what it happened to be. But it was acting like a stinking coyote. It was like, looked like a puppy the way it was acting. We're like, oh crap, man. Throw it in the ditch. All right, we're out. So the squeaker works a lot better than yelling woof, or a woof kind of hat. The
hey, you improvise, right?
Bark. Yeah, man. Hey, if you got to do it, you got to do it, man. So.
holidays approach, and we long for those who warm our hearts. It's a season for sharing, love and memories, and gifts that will last a lifetime, from one generation to the next.
You get it.
Yeah.
But now you mentioned tripods, so that's another piece of kit that we used on this hunt were tripods, which I have never used tripods before until this hunt. So talk about the importance of the tripods or the benefits.
Go ahead, Coot.
No, yeah. So I mean, tripod is probably one of the two most underappreciated pieces of hunting gear, and hunters in the last couple of years really have been getting on the tripod train, and they absolutely should, because that is, as a hunting guide, putting tripods in guys' blinds and letting them use them has increased those numbers. But just shooting off a tripod and getting as stable as you can makes sense. And we were using, I was anyways, and Lefty, we're using Two Vets tripods. Dan, he's a huge sponsor of the reason. Zane actually was using a no name V1, and I don't know what Anthony was using.
Special.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Dan over there at Two Vets, he's great. But I mean, the tripod is if you're going to hunt, I mean, predator hunting, we hunt from the standing, and to do that effectively, you do it off a tripod.
Oh, dude, without a doubt. I think I have 11 bog death grips, or I think we're at 11 death grips and 6 Sherpas here, just for that one reason. When you're out hog hunting or coyote hunting, bobcats or mountain lion, there's nowhere you cannot reach and grab a tripod somewhere.
Right.
And
right. It's an essential piece of gear.
Yeah. Because you don't want to be laying down out here in fire ants. It sucks.
Yeah. Zane was using one of those heavy bogs too until I hooked him up with a carbon fiber one.
Oh, dude, that one I used was carbon fiber. It was so light.
Yeah, all mine are carbon. They all got minor carbon fiber now. I used to use the old bog, the heavier ones.
Yeah.
No, not it.
You like that one you got, Zane?
Yeah. It's been working pretty good. I probably need to find a different QD mount for it, for putting the gun on it. But other than that, I mean, the ball mount on it's pretty dope. It's just I got a cheap little Amazon mount for it. I was just rushing it to get these hunts done, but it's got a Picatinny and proper reception on it. I can just keep it on, but it's basically just like you ran 2 tripods.
Yeah, I sent you the wrong link, man. That's my bad.
Oh, you're good.
That's me.
That's all.
Jackwagging me on that one, dude.
Maybe one of these days I'll actually get a Two Vets tripod and stop being a poser.
So we talked a little bit about the silencers, but that's another essential piece of kit that you want to take on a night hunt is a silencer. And again, check your local laws, rules, and regulations, all that bullshit. But I think they're legal in like 41 states now to hunt with a suppressor, a silencer.
Yeah.
Hearing protection.
Yeah, it's hearing protection at the end of the day. I mean,
that's
anyone who shoots has some sort of hearing damage, man, and it's mitigating that. You're not always going to have a chance to put your pro in, and it also helps with being able to get second and third shots on animals. Half the time you'll shoot and they don't even know what's going on, but unsuppressed gunshot, they'll hear you every time and run.
Yeah, and everything, anything nearby will run too.
I mean, I don't understand.
Go ahead, Anthony.
It's just a civilized way of shooting, man.
Just common courtesy.
No one wants a monster muzzle brake next to them. Nobody. Everyone wants a nice suppressor, nothing crazy.
Yep. I mean, how is it that Europe, that's the one thing Europe gets right that we get wrong. It's unsportsmanlike to hunt without a suppressor.
Do you know Theodore Roosevelt hunted with silencers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing is truly silenced. It's just suppressed, right? Like that's what
that's the thing. I mean, you get into the nomenclature: silencer, a suppressor,
moderator,
muzzle, moderator. It's all the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody.
Right, exactly.
I'm not a snobist when it comes to whatever you call them. So.
Yeah. It suppresses the sound at the rifle. A projectile still breaks the sound barrier. You'll still get a crack, but that's way away from the shooter. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. But we were using
writing the laws are a fucking bunch of douchebags.
What were we using on your guns there, Coop?
We were using a Silencer Co. Omega, the Silent AF, and
I can't remember what was on.
I had a whip machine on there.
Whip machine. Okay.
Yeah. Disavowed Group suppressors. They're great suppressors. They brought down suppressors for everybody to use at the Featherhorn hunt. Because Mitch, one of the owners, he's a veteran too. So
those are great guys. I met them at the GOA event. They're super good dudes.
Yeah.
They're fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
And I had brought my rifles and suppressors and all my shit, but I couldn't find any subsonic ammo, and I know mine are very particular that I gotta have subsonic before they'll cycle correct. So it was nice.
We wouldn't want to have any cycling issues, huh, Lefty?
Right. From a dirty ass gun.
No, hey, I took that thing to the range. I took that thing to the range the other day and tested it out, Lefty. And it if you don't slingshot that thing, I'm talking about slingshot. If you even don't put all the ass into it needs, it will not. That bolt won't
cycle right
back on the round. Yeah, so you got to you got to rip it like an AK on that one.
So I still had some cycling issues with that's sick art. But
are you trying to say his hands are like veal?
I'm trying to say we need to get him some Seal 1. So here's the best up thing. I just got done telling Lefty, look, here's the advantages of using a side charger as a hunting rifle, right? Just had this whole talk on the side-by-side ride. I'm like, look, every once in a while you forget to freaking put a round in your gun on a rear charger, right? Like you're in a deer stand, there's no way you're getting that thing in the pipe and ready to rock and roll, and that deer doesn't hear you. That's not happening, within 200 yards, right? And I'm like, so if you have a side charger, right, you can pull it back, right? Because you can hit the side charger,
pop that,
right? Well, it's nighttime, right? We do a countdown, right? It's 3, 2, and we all shoot on the wall of 1. Everybody shot except.
No, I shot. I shot. It just didn't do anything.
Yeah, it just didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
So,
and I even told you, I was like, I charged it, and Zane even heard it because he's like, "Oh, that's a good idea." So he charged his too. And then I even felt I was looking for the forward assist, and that one didn't have a forward assist on it. So I was hitting it with my hand to push it up even further, but I was trying not to be loud. So we got it worked out. We eventually got it worked out.
We got it worked out.
I got some coon kills.
Absolutely.
It was a good time. But yes, make sure your gun's clean and operable before you take it out. That's always.
I run bourbon through every barrel before I go hunting.
Bourbon. It'll knock the dirt off anything on it.
I'll be honest with you. Since I retired from the Marine Corps, I'm I clean my guns maybe once a year, right? We're so neurotic about doing it for so long, right? And I'm this one's not cycling right. Oh, it must be dirty. I will clean it now. Well, and now I know I got to clean Lefty's gun.
I even had my Seal 1 in the car, the aerosol, which would have been perfect for that because I could just hit it with that aerosol real quick and it'd have knocked that shit off. But I didn't. I could have put it in my Mission First Tactical chest rig, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Stupid me.
The bad part is only like 3 guns that I actually clean are my competition guns, and everything else, nope.
No.
I still got blood on my hog gun. Nope. That's staying there for probably another season.
There's still hog blood on Mark 12 from Anthony. From that coyote. I think from the coyote.
Let's do this. Let's go to some listener questions, and that'll get us along on maybe anything that we're overlooking to talk about for our night hunt. Or as I'm looking these up, if you guys got something you want to add, chime in.
No, you're good.
So as usual, I made a post on the Instagrams asking for your questions, told you what our topic was going to be. And we got some participation here.
I just want to let you know I answered one of the questions, but then I deleted my comment because I realized that you had asked questions.
I saw that you did that, and I was just going to let it go.
Dang it. I was did it again.
I was like, here he goes again.
Darn it.
I was laughing. I saw that.
Dude, I was waiting for, I was like, is Lefty going to get on there and say, quit answering the questions?
Dang it, you did it again.
I deleted it.
Dude, I was laughing so fucking hard when I saw you answer it.
Yeah, I'm a Marine. I'm an idiot. What do you want me to tell you?
First question comes from Floody. He says, while using thermal and high heat environments, how do you decipher what you are looking at? Is it difficult to tell what it is? Well, if you got a shitty thermal, it probably might be, but
no, that's actual. If you've been, there's some places even with some really good thermal. I've been here in Texas. The Mirage is a bitch.
Mirage can really fuck you up.
Well, and like you guys even saw it the other night out at that one property with all the rocks sticking out of the ground. You know, environments like that where there's just constant hot spots everywhere. It can be tough to see. Like that one dog was tucked up in those rocks, and you can barely see them sometimes. One thing that I have
we thought they were hogs too at first. We're like, look at all those hogs.
Yeah. One thing that I have found that does help is, I mean, most thermals, you know, you have like your white hot, your black hot. If you're in like super high heat environments and you see something that might be a little bit off, if you switch your color palettes to the one that like glows the orange spots where it's like white, but you see the orange spots, most of the time the rocks will be a little bit lighter because they'll be like a red and orange, and the other stuff will be a lot brighter. So like if it's living, it'll always shine a little bit brighter than the rocks around it if you use that orange mode on the thermals. Like if you're trying to find something that's in a very heated environment, I found that color palette does a good bit, gives you a little bit more contrast than like just black hot and white hot.
Yeah. And talk about that, because that's something I wanted to get into, are the different spectrums that you can cycle through on most thermals and the benefits of that. And that's one of the benefits right there. And when you would use one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say,
go ahead.
Right. I'd say your main ones you're going to use are black and white hot. And for me personally, black hot works great in the wintertime. And then white hot is more of a summertime one for me. I will have to check out kind of the color thing in like fog and high heat things. I've never really used that. I just usually use black and white, but there is like you joke around and say things can't hide from thermals, but there's multiple screens in a tree line. That will screen the thermals. You combine that with high heat and humidity, and then you're not going to be able to see that great. But you won't, to be fair, it's high humidity and fog stuff and multiple screens, you're not going to be able to see with night vision either. So there is times where you cannot see until they break the tree line, but a lot of times you can defeat some of that with other palettes and whatnot.
Yeah, key, don't shoot what you can't see.
Yeah, if you're not 100% sure, don't take a shot.
Yeah, sure.
There's there's a certain time out here, and especially in South Texas during the summer, where it gets so hot even at night, where even some of the best thermal out there that we've hunted with, it's very difficult to tell the difference between a pig and a calf. I mean, it cost one of the guys in 2022 cost him, I think it was 15 grand.
Damn.
Shooting a cow.
Yep. And that's why on that ranch now you're only allowed to spot with thermal and shoot with night vision.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Because it was July and you could not, and it was only about 100 yards out, and it was just so hot and thick. Even when he was using color palette, and you could not tell the difference. And it was an expensive mistake.
Shep Guns, how do y'all sight in thermal scopes? Do you heat up the targets?
So there's a couple methods that we use. I know when Coop came out here one time, I pulled one of these out to show because I saw that question. iRay will send these with most their scopes. I know a lot of different companies will send these with their scopes where it's just some sort of almost like a hot hand, but a sticky hot hand that's like, an inch or two in diameter. And you just stick them on a piece of cardboard or something and they heat up. I usually just zero my thermals on steel. Hits show up really good on steel, and you can get pretty accurate. If you want to get it down to really fine measurements, one thing that I'll do is I'll take like a cardboard dipstick and then I'll take some HVAC tape, like that silver reflective duct tape, and I can cut it into strips, and I'll make a crosshair on my target on just a piece of cardboard. And then you can just slide your crosshairs up on a bench, and you're dead on every time. You just put the crosshairs over that crosshair tape, and most of the whole thing show up pretty good. But some thermals they won't on like the cheaper end thermals. But if you're using anything like 384 or higher, they'll usually pick it up pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah,
Dixie,
I mean, it depends.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it depends on the day. Like I'll use black duct tape on a white target, and that shows up good. Or the HVAC tape, the aluminum tape works good. Hot hands. It just depends on temperature of the day and where the sun is, and all those work.
Dixie 2809. What is better for snowy or foggy conditions, thermal or night vision? And maybe somebody talk about the difference between thermal and night vision, because we haven't really differentiated between the two.
So when it comes to thermal's all based off your heat. It'll pick up the images and stuff, but it shows heat is what it's based off of, and that's why your animals will glow hot, like white hot or black hot. That's what it's referring to. Is when we say black hot, if it's hot, if it's living, it'll be black, and the contrast, the cold things will be white. If it's white hot, so vice versa. As far as nitrogen goes, nitrogen is as fire using it, and I'm not something. I'm not one of the big guys like that. I don't know all this cheating and all that stuff with it. But they basically amplify the light, the ambient light around you, and so that you can actually see. They're a little bit better for like navigating and stuff like that. A little bit harder to navigate under thermal, especially like up close. Detail isn't as good. So when it comes to like situational stuff and like walking around in the woods, night vision's definitely going to be your friend. But when it comes to hunting or like finding living things or doing stuff that we do, thermal's definitely the king when it comes to that.
Yeah. And there's a bit of a depth perception issue a lot of times with certain thermals. Mm-hmm. It can throw off your depth perception. You got to get used to what you're shooting at with different optics and different scopes, because you're like, oh, look how far out it. No, it's further than you think.
Which is great to have a rangefinder on some. I know those that you had, they had rangefinders on.
Yeah, absolutely. The rangefinder is key, because there's been many times when I've been spotting and stalking hogs in a field with clients, like when I first started guiding, all we had was night vision. We're like, all right, we're at 100. Well, finally, and went to thermals, right? And then I got a rangefinder on a thermal. Like, oh shit, like that 100 I thought was 100 was probably 250.
Yeah.
Right. And like, why couldn't we find pigs or, whatever? So, yeah, you're absolutely right on that. And for a lot of people like listening, right, who are wanting to get into this, right, you see night vision a lot. You're thinking helmet mounted night vision, right? Like we used in the military, or you watch movies, freaking, name the movie, right? Zero Dark 30. They got the quad tubes on and all that stuff, right? Helmet mounted night vision is good for. Yeah,
I just said 13 hour. I watched that last night.
Like that night vision is good for doing what we do in the military, because I started this way, and I, like a lot of my buddies, started this way, right? Like, all right, we'll just do what we do in the military, and we'll use a helmet mounted night vision and a laser on our gun. Well, you cannot identify animals effectively with that.
No, not at all.
Not at all, right? And you're like, by the time you're able to shoot the coyote, it's in your lap type thing. So the thermal, like Zane said, the thermal is king of hunting. Those are what you want for going and hitting targets and walking around at night, but not what you want for hunting.
Well, the good thing about night vision, is in a military aspect, it picks up light. So anybody lights a cigarette, you're going to see it from a mile away with night vision. It picks up small light and amplifies it to where you'll see it a lot better. Animals don't emit any light, and so it's hard to pick up any sort of living stuff in the woods, especially with nods. You can't see 10, 15 yards into a tree line when it's any sort of brush with knobs. When it comes to thermal, most of the time hunting with thermal, you can see at least 100 or so off into the woods between the trees, because you can see through most leaves and stuff with a couple layers at least of trees. When it comes to thermal, they'll pick up the heat in the trees. You may not be able to get PID on stuff, but you'll see the heat signatures and know that something living is out there. Whereas with nods, you can look at a forest wall and be like, I don't see shit.
You don't see shit.
Yeah,
but that's where thermal comes in so handy, especially coming up on a tree line. You lay thermal across that tree line and you can stalk that thing. I hate that word because I hate stalking. Hate burning those extra calories, but you can actually track an animal to where you can get a clean shot.
Come on, Slim. You've lost a lot of weight lately.
Yeah, almost. I'm 80 pounds in less than a year.
See?
And almost 300 almost 300 pounds in 10 years.
Heck
I can see my feet. I'm not impressed, but I found them.
Stalk any day now. Reeves 89. What is the best electronic and non-electronic predator call available? I'm interested in getting into coyote hunting, and I'm sure this is a subjective answer, but Coop talked a little bit earlier about the Fox Pro. Is that what it was?
Fox Pro.
Yeah, Fox Pro. Yeah.
For electronic. Ton, did you say you've got experience with the mouth calls?
I like Fox Pro. I run MFK mouth calls. The diaphragm calls, I've been using them for over 6 years, and diaphragm calls have been pretty much my go-to since I started out with the Fox Pro diaphragm calls way back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's hunting the deserts. And
Anthony likes the booty calls.
Yeah. MFK, yeah. The diaphragm calls have always been just easy on the go. Once you get used to them and know how to use them, it's just been they sit in the center console of my truck no matter where I go, so I don't have to worry about batteries or anything. I just grab a diaphragm call, put it in my mouth, and I can call in coyote or a bobcat without any problems. But when it comes down to if I'm going to sit somewhere, I'm going to break out a Fox Pro and drop it out in the field, because I don't want to be sitting there blowing air for the next.
What about you, Zane?
20, 30 minutes.
What's your go-to favorite?
Honestly, man, X24 has been awesome. I've had a couple of different Fox Pros. I've had the Fox Pro Patriot. I've had the Fox Pro Hellcat Pro. I've had a couple different box calls and diaphragm calls and stuff like that. a lot of the times, I'm taking other people out hunting and diaphragm calls. I've got so much going on. I like just having a remote and sticking it in my chest rig. So it's a lot easier for me, especially if I'm talking with other people. Like I like to be able to talk while I'm shooting and doing stuff like that. Talking and only tell the other guy to shoot. And you can't really do that a lot of times when you're using diaphragm calls. They're just not really my preferred method.
Yeah.
Very good.
I mean, there's a bunch of, like Fox Pros, what we all like. I mean, I also have a Convergent Technologies bullet. That's what I use for calling hogs primarily with. And that's really just a souped up, Bluetooth speaker in a, ruggedized freaking container. That thing's good for calling hogs.
I know a lot of the guys use the Lucky Duck calls. I've seen a lot of guys using those these days.
Yeah, Lucky Duck's good. It's just, it's one of those things, like you said, it's subjective. For me, like I said, Tory Cook, that dude's like the godfather of coyote calling, and he raises coyotes. He has free range coyotes like at his house, and that's how he gets his calls. I mean, this dude goes in the freaking woods like at 10 o'clock in the morning with a blue jeans, a white t-shirt, and a shotgun, and kills 7 of them within like 20 minutes, like with a shotgun in the middle of stinking Arkansas triple canopy jungle. I mean, I'm like, dude, all right. Yeah. I mean, respect, man.
You can't really beat that.
I run his stuff. Yeah. Like, it's just, he's sitting in a chair and just crushing souls. I'm like, this is awesome. So
and I mean, calling, I will say, like, as easy as these calls make it, man, like, it's not just as simple as getting out there and pushing a button. Being able to read the environment, what you're hunting, how you're hunting, what you want to come in, where you're at, the area that you're at. It can take a lot of skill. I mean, it's easy to mouth calls like that. A lot of props for that, man, because like it's games and mouth calls for sure. Like the Fox Pros will take a little bit of the time out of it, but other than that, man, it's tough. So it's a steep learning curve for sure. It takes a while to get good at calling.
Yeah.
Nikolai Abplanap says a couple of things we've already talked about here. For someone just wanting to get into night hunting, what recommended setup that won't break the bank would you suggest? So out of all the stuff that we've gone through with the tripods, the thermals, the calls, what would you guys?
I mean,
somebody's on a budget.
If you're on a budget, like I said, I recommend not
spending right away and save.
Yeah, like a 35 384 is what you want. If you had to, right? If you're here East Coast, right, and you had to do a 25 384, right? Okay, but I would say save for a 35 384, right? Like like the AGM, the V1s right now, they're super cheap, right? Probably IRA has some of their V1 stuff that's super cheap, right? Thermal prices are coming down astronomically like every month because the technology is advancing so quick.
And this time of year is the best time to buy anything because end of the year, people getting rid of stuff, getting their new models in, Black Friday deals and sales. It's just historically, this is the best time of year to buy.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, like, when a lot of people will ask that question and say, like, for someone getting into a budget thermal, well, and a budget can be very subjective. I don't really know everybody's situation, and I don't know what people can afford. So the best thing that I tell people to do when they want to get into night vision or thermal or anything like that, I say, set aside a budget and let me know how much you want to spend on either a whole setup or just that specific part, whether it's not a full limit setup, a gun setup. You can afford the whole thing.
I wish we could hear you.
Yeah.
I wish we could hear you because you're saying some good stuff. Sorry, buddy.
And
yeah, it's just blah 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 right now. Sorry.
Sometimes
you come in crystal clear and it's great.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do like a what's that where the words come up?
Yeah.
Closed captioning.
Closed captioning. Yeah, I have to get a closed captioning for Zane.
Yeah.
But sorry to cut you off there, but it's just.
Oh, you're good. If you guys can't hear me, man, there's no point in me talking.
Now I can hear you.
You're clear as day.
Yeah. Well, I was saying, budget's pretty subjective with stuff. So I always tell people when they want to get into it, let me know what your budget is, and then we can see what your options are. I work over at Ready Made Resources, and they do a bunch of this stuff. So if anyone is looking to get into it, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram or call the number on the website, and we'll get you guys hooked up with whatever thermal or nods you guys need.
You got an email?
There's the number on the Ready Made Resources page, and then there's the Instagram is Resource Ready Made if you guys want to reach out there, or just hit me up on Instagram on KS of the Plains.
I need another PVS 14 in white phos.
There you go.
I think we actually just got some in.
Oh shit, we need to talk.
Yeah, I'll hit you up with
it.
All right, that does it for our listener questions. We pretty much covered everything. If I didn't read your question, we probably already covered it. So appreciate everybody that participated in our listener questions there for this show. Sorry I don't have any giveaways this episode, because our upcoming episode, the Talking Lead AK Corner season finale, the AK versus AR episode is coming up on the AK Corner. And we've got a shit ton of giveaways that we're going to be doing. So I am announcing what you have to do this episode to get involved with that. So you can email me, or when I make the post on Instagram, be looking for the post where I ask for your listener questions. You're going to answer the question, why is the AK or why is the AR the better design? Okay? And you only pick one. You can't do both. You can't do both. So you pick one. You argue why the AK is better, or you argue why the AR is better. And then if you email me in the heading, put Team AK, or if you're Team AR, and don't fuck that up. Okay? Because it's that easy. In the subject, put Team AK or Team AR. That's all I want to see in the subject. If I have to go and try to find your emails, I'm not going to do that. So if you send me something and you don't have that in the subject heading, then too bad, so sad. If you want to wait and do it on the Instagram post, then that's fine too. And I'll just go to the Instagram post and I'll read that. But I know a lot of our listeners don't have social media, and I want everybody to be able to take part in this. So you can email me, or you can wait till I make the post on Instagram and then make your argument there. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a panel of judges, just like we normally do. We've got guests. We're going to have a Team AR and Team AK on the show, and we're going to argue. Everybody's going to have their own argument, and we're going to, we'll talk a lot of shit. It's a fun show. It's a fun episode. But giveaways so far, what we have is we've got Atlas Defense has put up a suppressor. Okay. And it'll either be an AK or an AR, or it'll be a multi-cal, whatever. I think he's going to let the winner choose whichever one they want. Dead Air silencers. We're going to have a can from Dead Air. Mike Pappas is going to be on the show. He's going to be on that episode. So that's going to be cool. Jomo supposedly will be on from Atlas. Brian Keeney with Occam Defense has put up some cool product from Occam Defense Solutions. So I don't know if he specified what yet, but we're going to get specifics on that. Mission First Tactical is putting up a complete AR furniture kit. So handguard, pistol grip, vertical grip, iron sights, butt stock, muzzle device, and they do the dust covers too. So they're going to put that up. B5 Systems, they're making cool AK furniture. I've got it on that AK there, where they've got the handguard, they've got a vertical grip, they've got a pistol grip, and they've got a butt stock also that they're going to be putting up. Obviously, whoever makes the best AK argument's going to win that. Ton, is Firebird going to throw up some targets for this one?
I think we're going to throw something in.
Okay, so we're going to have
damn good chance.
Something from Firebird Targets. Seal 1, we're going to have a complete gun kit cleaning system from Seal 1. Who else? The iPro people what do they call Gators? So we're going to have some iPro from Gators that we're going to be giving away. And there's probably going to be some more stuff. I'm probably forgetting some stuff that we have so far, but this is all for the listeners. I'm not going outside our listenership. This is how you participate is you make the argument for why AK, why AR. Our judges are going to go through and through each category, each prize that we're going to give away, somebody's going to win something. You can't win multiple. So everybody, each one of those prizes, somebody's going to win, one of those. So the opportunity.
No emailing from our ghost email.
And you can only do it once. So if you argue AK and you argue AR, you're disqualified. I'm going to throw you out. If you email me and you also post your argument on the Instagram post, you're disqualified. I'm going to kick you out. But you can comment on the post. Just don't put your argument if you've already argued. So that's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to run this. I think we're recording the 10th, December the 10th. So you've got up until we do our recording, and then it'll post on the 15th. So I think that's pretty cool. Is that pretty cool? Is that a pretty fair way to do it for everybody?
I think so.
You got a lot of giveaways, man. That's awesome.
Cool stuff. Got a lot of giveaways there. Yeah, definitely. And there's probably going to be more that filters in between now and then. I'm trying to get somebody to put up an AR and somebody to put up an AK because, our AK sponsor went out of business.
Is that what they call it?
Going out of business? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's yet to be determined, but we can't determine them anymore. So we'll figure something out. But yeah, I think that'll be a great season finale for season 6. So I'm looking for a lot of participation. I want all you lead heads, even the ones that don't have social media, to take part in this. If you're watching the video, I've got it down here on the screen, what you're supposed to do. But one last time, why is the AK the better design, or why is the AR the better design? And in the subject, put Team AK or Team AR, depending on which one you're arguing for. And don't argue both sides, and don't send me multiple emails. One email will do it. And then on the post, you can also wait till we do the Instagram post and post your argument there. So there you go.
I mean, Lefty. I mean, the last question of the night is how was your first dedicated night hunting experience?
Well, it wasn't, but I enjoyed going out and hunting with you guys.
That was with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with you guys, it was a great hunt. I liked the way that we did it. I liked the area that we were hunting in up there in the Carolinas. Was absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, out in the middle of nowhere. If it hadn't have been a full moon, it would have been just pitch ass black dark there. It would have been awesome. But the side by sides definitely were a bonus to get us halfway to where we were going. I absolutely enjoyed that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, the reasons outdoors, I mean, you put on a great hunt, and I mean, more importantly, Anthony and Zane, how did you guys enjoy the hunt? What did you think about it?
Go ahead, Anthony.
All right, sorry. My AirPods died, so I had to switch over to camera, so I muted it so it wouldn't give them my back.
You're coming in good.
And I have freaking blast. All the night stuff I've been doing since I've been out of the military mostly is just, some white fuzz dual tubes, shooting out at the range. Actually going out and hunting some problem animals for these farmers and actually making a difference in taking the lives. I mean, it was an awesome experience, and I would love to do it again. If I ever get another invite, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. How about you? Zane is going to be the captain of one of the Reason Outdoors teams for the Onslow Predator Challenge. So why don't you come down for that? Are you cool having Anthony on your team, Zane? Will that work for you?
Yeah, I guess we better see if you can do 21 pull-ups first, though, right?
Hey, yo, I got that all day, son. All day.
Yeah, so Anthony called Coop out on after that pig shot.
Dude,
you were giving him shit about dragging it or something, and he's like, "All right, son, let's see 21
no, he was like Johnny on the spot with that freaking comment too, right? So I'm like filming because they both were dragging, So Anthony shot his first pig. It was a stud boar too. I mean, congratulations, by the way. It's freaking awesome. Dumped him. But we're using yoke drags, and we didn't have the deer or hog drag. We had the yoke drag. So Anthony had a leg with his drag, and Zane had a drag with his leg, and that's really why they were dragging it like that. I'm like, making comments. I'm like, oh, but leave it to the Army to use the buddy system to drag this hog. Anthony immediately turns around. He's like, yeah, coming from the guy I can only do 4 pull-ups. Dude, I'm like, what? Dude, I could knock out 21 right now.
That's what it was right there, that little clip that I froze right there.
Dude, it was solid trash talk. I mean, dude, you were like immediate on that, and it was solid, man.
I tell you what, man, we need to find a bullet bar for the arms of the pellet and just once and for all when we get down there.
All right, I got one in my garage.
You got time.
We got time. Is that what you said? Let's see it. You calling him out right now?
Train up.
I only got to try. I'll send you a video tomorrow. I'll have to have Lefty posted on the page or something.
There you go.
We'll prove it. There
you go. I'm challenging Ton.
Yeah, not it.
I'm challenging it 2, and then 4 next month, and then 6 the next month.
To a pull-up?
Yeah.
What the hell am I trying to get away from? Dude, that's why I carry 3 extra mags. Fuck that. I ain't pulling my shit up from nothing. I'm firing back.
You got to get out of the side by side. Well.
Dude, I do push-ups every morning. I get my fat ass up out of bed. I'm good.
Squat. So besides the competition, Coop, what do you got any hunts coming up with any vets?
Yeah, we got some guys, and we actually have our first. Well, she's a female infantry man and sniper. Actually, they're out hunting in Montana right now, elk and whitetail hunting. And then right after Thanksgiving, I'm bringing some guys out to Colorado for pronghorn doe and coyote hunt, and we'll have a hog and deer hunt in North Carolina. Next month or in middle of December rather, and then we'll have
February.
We'll have Onslow Predator Challenge. Yeah, I'll be hunting with Ton in February. That'll be awesome. But yeah, so we've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up.
What's happening in February?
I'm gonna go hunting with Ton.
Ton, that's my birthday's in February.
Jim Gilliland and Coop are going hunting. It's a veteran hunt.
I'm a veteran of podcasting.
Yeah.
We'll do our own hunt. My birthday's in February too.
There you go. Thanks, Zane. I appreciate that.
Thank you. What day is your birthday?
Oh, wait, we lost Ton. Zane.
Again?
No, I'm teasing. So no, that'll be good. We definitely get you guys on and talk about that hunt. That'll be a fun hunt. Are you doing it? Are you doing a high fence hunt or what are you doing? A predator hunt?
We're actually going to probably hunt predator, and if everything goes right, I'm going to take them axis hunting.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah, real nice. I'll come out after the hunt and help you eat.
Well, let me see how many people I can take out there. It's a veteran hunt we're doing down in Louisiana, and working out the final details as we speak. And Jim and Coop are going to go out, and I tormented Jim last year in July and made him hike over 12 miles, which I actually did with him. It was absolutely miserable.
Is there video of this?
Actually, there is pictures and there is some video, and he threatened to kill me more than once.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, that'll be a good hunt. Again, you guys go to the Reason Outdoors, and on the grams, it's _Reason_Outdoors_. And Coop's been great about posting up pictures of the hunts. And I mean, people want to get one of these ecotherapy sweatshirts like Zane is wearing.
These things are awesome.
There. Look at that. I really like it. Oh man, you hit it out of the park with that one, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What's the biggest adult size they come in?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Nine Line Apparel, because that was our collab with them. So a bunch of people have been asking about them.
Two together.
So, yeah, so we're gonna have to do another collab with them, because a lot of people have been wanting the ecotherapy line.
Yeah, those are really nice. I'm digging that. Also coming up on the show, Leadheads, is I've got some new guns in that I'm going to be reviewing and talking about. Let me get that off Zane there. I'm sure he's tired of me having that on him. Gerson EAA Corps has sent me some guns to try out, test out, talk about, and we're going to be doing that in the next coming couple of months or so. So this is the Witness 9mm 2011 style gun. There's a 9mm. What is this called? The Disruptor X that we've got here. And then there's a 380. We were talking about this before we started recording. And Ton knew a little bit about these, but it's got like a little pop-up.
Yeah, that style's been around for many years.
Still a semi-automatic. This is a 380. So we're going to try that out. But these are really solid feeling guns. So I haven't shot them yet, but as far as the quality of just messing around with them and checking them out, taking them apart, putting them back together, they seem like really solid firearms. But this will be my first experience with a Gerson handgun. I've used their shotguns in the past, semi-automatic shotguns, and I really like their Gobbler 12 gauge shotgun.
12 gauge.
Yeah, 12 gauge. It's I've had it for about 5 years now, and I really like it. So,
dude, that 12 gauge is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it runs great.
God,
you can use 3.5 shells in there, so really nice. But that's what we got coming up on the show. So I look forward to everybody's participation for the next AK Corner. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a full boat. I think we're going to have at least 10 people on there. Ton, are you going to join us on that episode?
I might have something to say about that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. We see your note there.
Just saying.
But until then, Leadheads, make sure you go follow Coop and the Reason Outdoors and Carolina. Is it Carolina Hunting?
Hunting Carolinas, all one word.
Hunting Carolinas. There you go. Follow Zane. Zane is
Chaos of the Plains.
Chaos of the Plains. And then Anthony, I don't know. Do you want to give your Instagrams out, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, it's A_Ches11. I just post cool memes and fucking doing cool shit out at the range, blowing stuff up all the time. So,
and give that range again. It's
Cedar Creek Precision and Tenant Group. Tenant Group is another veterans organization working on veterans mental health and shooting instructors, stuff like that. So if you guys want to give them a follow, that'd be sweet, dude.
And I've got to give a big shout out to Zane's wife, because she was the gracious hostess for us while we were out there, and she and Zane both hooked us up, me and Coop, with some quail eggs, some chicken eggs, some apple butter. Oh my God, that apple butter is to die for. Absolutely love it. Are you guys selling that online? Can people buy that online?
We've got a little egg cart that we put out in the front yard for all neighbors to go buy. Whatever they need. We try to grow as much food in the backyard as we can. But She supports a lot of this stuff, man. This new Fox Pro, she actually got me that not long ago, and she's my #1 supporter in all of army control that I do, man. Can't say enough
She's
good things
awesome.
about that woman.
Yeah, she is awesome, and send her our love and appreciation for hosting us.
Absolutely,
that was awesome of her.
You guys out, man.
And that apple butter, it's so good. I even shared it with my mom. I let my mom try it. My mom makes like the best jams and preserves and desserts, and she was impressed with it. So that says a lot. 83-year-old lady. I mean, she's been making them all her life, and she loved it too.
That's awesome. I just liked it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So go and support all our sponsors, Leadheads. Use those discount codes. If you're not using them, then we're going to lose them. They'll take them away. So use them or lose them. And the gift season is coming up. So what better time to use those? And a lot of them will work with the discounts that they have going on anyway. So if you have any trouble with a discount code, let me know. And we'll check into it, make sure we can get it reactivated or find out what the problem is. But is Firebird running any deals for the holiday, Ton? You want to talk about it real quick?
Yeah, you get if you buy any 3 packs of Firebird targets, we're throwing in a customer appreciation pack of signal markers for free now through December 24th. So you go to our website, buy any 3 packs of Firebird targets, and we'll toss in a customer appreciation pack. We'll pull 3 colors, any 3 random colors, put them in a pack, and toss them in your shipment for free. So,
does our TL 15% off still work with that?
Yes, it does.
You can work in conjunction with that? Very good.
Yes, it does.
There you go.
Go to firebirdtargets.com and hit us up.
Perfect. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to do this episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Same here.
Yeah,
Dude,
So, Leadheads, until the next episode, as always, keep your loved ones close.
And your firearms closer.
Baby.
She said she didn't like that thing.